happens all the time, dude. I'm at that weird age where you can't tell if I'm an adult or still a child, you know?
I don't wanna wait just to spend another day with you. Take me back.
Scott Chan, better known by his musical alias Monsune, felt a passion for music growing up in the Toronto suburbs. He made a conscious effort to immerse himself in Western music, feeling behind the rest of his peers as a child of immigrants. He drew a wide range of inspiration from the likes of Brazilian great Gal Costa, harpist Dorothy Ashby, to Tame Impala and Prince. Monsune took piano lessons at a young age, soon adding guitars, drums, and some trumpet to his repertoire. All before even entering high school, he spent most of his days after school simply listening to music in his bedroom and practicing instruments. As time went on, he discovered and became consumed by the art of sampling, allowing him to play and experiment with sounds he was unable to before. Fast forward to 2017, at the age of 19, Monsune was now attending Ryerson University as a student in radio and television arts. Under 777 TV, who is best known for the hit artist Boy Pablo, Monsune decided to release his first ever track, Nothing in Return, wanting to share something he was proud of with the world. With no real expectation of anyone listening, let alone caring for the song, greatly positive response to the track was most certainly welcomed, yet overwhelming being a student at the time. Yet, with all the demand and commotion, it ultimately convinced Monsune that perhaps a musical career was worth trying out, moving back into his parents' house to focus on producing more music. Being a guarded person, Monsune was never used to expressing himself to others. Thus, songwriting was a way to help take away some of the directness and urgency of having a conversation with someone, making it easier for him to describe his emotions. It would be 2 whole years of silence before finally debuting his EP, Tradition. The EP would become loosely based on the emotional chaos he had been going through at the time while developing the EP, transitioning from adolescence to adulthood as he turned 21 at the time of release. The EP covers some of his experiences with uncertainty, infatuation, dysphoria, and many other new feelings he had come across throughout this transition. Beginning the EP with the track 1998, the year of which Monsune was born, it features an opening clip of what is presumably Monsune and a friend having a discussion about adolescence, introducing the overall theme of the EP, growing up and out of the innocence of being a kid.
It happens all the time, dude. I'm at that weird age where you can't tell if I'm an adult or still a child, you know?
The track reminisces the time he spent with someone who captured his heart. Their narrative is also sprinkled with imagery of a simpler time.
I just needed you to take me back. I wanna be anywhere but here. Just
Not only was this person of great infatuation, but also representation of his more youthful and carefree days as he wishes they could take him back to, especially as the beat switches with
take me back.
But alas, he finally recognizes and accepts that those days are of the past and that he must move forward.
The day that I grew up, I'm never coming home. And I still remember us rolling with the windows down. And I guess I myself.
Behind his playful imagery of getting high, Cloud introduces the theme of being forced to leave behind old habits, behaviors, and especially people. He presents this narrative with a strongly apathetic tone.
I don't need nothing I would get to from you. Look it, I don't need to realize. Oh,
Monsune conveys he's very much improving his mindset and confidently gaining stability in life. He is unbothered by those in his way, but encourages them that they can rise to bliss together should their attitude come around.
why don't you get up from my mind? 'Cause I don't think I left from my mind. You ever do come around, we can get high.
Out of My Mind was the leading single from the EP, having his own music video directed by Monsune himself, paying homage to Wong Kar-wai, a legendary Hong Kong film director, with the video aesthetic in the song sampling of War's movie Lotus Blossom. The song itself is about a love interest Monsune can't quite get out of his mind, by how much they may not be of his type and how little he may even know them.
Ooh, baby, me get you into my life. Ooh, baby.
His obsession with his love interest is getting to the point where it's eating away at him, and getting them is all he can ever think about.
You got me tossing and turning, thinking of what we could be. I've been trying to get you out to sight and out to blind. You've been haunting me for 40 days and 49 nights. I know better than to keep checking if you're still online. I can't help it, I can't help it.
Mountain is a personal favorite of Monsune, as it is the most personal lyrically. It was written during a time in which things were rapidly changing for him, forcing Monsune to leave behind certain habits, people, and places. While overall happy at his stage in life, he had to consciously consider where he wanted to go with his future, reflecting onto a relationship he had at the time that brought him much joy and happiness, where although he could see himself staying, he would also begin to feel uncertain about whether or not it could change in the future, as the highs of the relationship starts to become tiresome for him.
At the base of your mountain, I saw myself in you, and I could stay another summer or a day, another day or two. Don't you wanna come down? 'Cause I'm so bored of walking on the same old sky.
As his mindset changes and grows, he no longer wants to need them. He is outgrowing both them and their relationship. Either they must be able to experience a new high, or he will be forced to move on, as his desires in life will become insatiable.
Everybody wants you, and I don't wanna need you by my side. Get me high, higher than the mountaintop, higher than an astronaut. But can you get me high enough?
The album art is overlaid with calligraphy translated to the EP's title, Tradition, which subtly hints at Monsune's Chinese-Canadian background. The final track, Jade, fully incorporates this theme to a greater extent. Part of growing up also means having to leave behind your family, the ones that were such an important part of your youth. Being forced to leave them behind to venture out into the real world and in search of a better life can be rather bittersweet. The track paints the imagery of leaving behind loved ones in another country and bittersweetly visiting them during summers as those loved ones begin to become a fleeting memory of a distant past.
Over the ocean, watch as I float into the sky. Over the summer, I will appear before your eyes. I hear you say, don't look back at me. I don't want you to. I've got bills to pay. By the time that you can't remember my name, I'll still be waiting for you.
We then get to this funkadelic-esque scream from Monsune to encapsulate the frustration he endured during this transition from adolescence to adulthood and having to leave behind those he once loved. Finally, the track concludes the conversation at the beginning of the EP with,
I don't know. Sometimes you just grow up like that.
Monsune himself admits the EP comprehensively is rather all over the place, but notes it's also a strong representation of his confusion as a young adult in this weird day and age. Tradition truly is a once-in-a-lifetime project. Only by being in that confusing and transitional period of growing up can you fully comprehend and appreciate the beauty of its message. Monsune ultimately hopes that from his song, people will be more honest with themselves and each other, reflecting his own mistake as he hasn't always been honest with himself. He wrote these songs to stop beating around the bush and to truly tackle the truth head on. Since the release of his EP, Monsune has been radio silent. He has quietly started building his resume as a beatmaker for others, even appearing as a co-producer on Raise My Mind from Drake's album Certified Lover Boy. It's rather cloudy as to whether or not Monsune will return to producing his own music again. The little music he has left behind left a profound impact for many who have experienced the same turbulent and transitional period from adolescence to adulthood. Here's to growing up, facing the trials and tribulations of adulthood, and never looking back.